Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Inhumans, Marvel's Medusa, and Marvel's Gorgon. So this is an interesting pack because it's sold as a regular 2-pack, which I know most people hate in the first place, and I tend to agree on in most cases. But this one actually seemed like it might be a good value. We've got a lot of new stuff going on, and a Build-A-Figure sized character being priced at just the $63, which is already nuts. For a 2-pack, which, like I said, it's already a bad price, but that's the same price as the Punisher one, I'm pretty sure, and those are both regular figures. So, this one has something to talk about. There's some interesting stuff going on here. Is there a lot of good stuff? Not really. Is there some good stuff? For sure. And we're going to talk about all of it, so let's go ahead and get them off the stand and take a closer look. Alrighty, before we look at the figures, I do want to show you the package. I think it's a good looking package. We have Black Bolt's logo. Well, I mean, it's the Inhumans logo, I guess, right? Is that what it is? I don't know. The Inhumans are maybe my least favorite thing in Marvel ever, but the figures look like they might be good, so I wanted to review them. But yeah, it's a good box. You get to see both figures right there. Very nice looking. Then there's some artwork that's just like, this is kind of right, but this isn't even close. So I don't know what they're going for there. Why? What's happening? But there you go. Yeah, if you like boxes, this one is a box that holds your stuff. So they are in stock at Big Bad Toy Store if you want to get them. I'll put a link in the description below. I would wait till you watch the review, though, before you decide. Alright, so she stands about 6 inches to the top of her head, about 6 5/8 to the top of her hair. And Gorgon, depending on how you have him posed, because he is a tall guy with these digitigrade legs, we'll just leave him like this. This is pretty neutral stance. He stands roughly 8, let's say 8 3/4. His hair's a little poofy, so you can knock a little bit off for that. And that's going to make him just about 22.5 centimeters overall. Here he is up against Darwin, so he does have some size to him. It is a Build-A-Figure body, plus some new taller legs. So there you go. And she's kind of short, actually, because a lot of the ladies have been taller lately. But let's do a question of the day. Do you like the Inhumans? That's it. Just, do you like the Inhumans? I find them, other than Black Bolt, I just really find none of them interesting enough at all. Yeah, not my thing. But, you know, I like their interactions with other characters, so I guess that's okay. And I may end up keeping these, but they may very well end up in my Marvel Legends loose figure sale, probably in the springtime. We'll see. But let's go ahead and get into it. Aesthetically, we'll start with Medusa here. It's a blank body, other than the add-on parts for the wrists and for the boots here. The add-on part wrists do make her arms look extra chunky, which isn't the biggest deal in the world. This is painted on across an ab crunch, so obviously that's not gonna look very good, but it won't matter much. You'll see why in a minute. They did paint her flesh tones up here. They did a much better job here than they did on Psylocke recently, so that's nice to see. Otherwise, it's just the more modern body, which is a decent enough sculpt. I don't mind it. It's still a little slender, but it's much better than a lot of the things we've seen, so that's fine. And they do have her hair, which is obviously a key part of Medusa. It has the tiniest bit of paint right here. I don't know if I would have gone with that way of doing it. It looks bad to me. The orange paint on top of the darker, redder orange hair is not... It's not appealing. I think they should have done black wash overall. That would have probably looked better. But the hair sculpt is good enough. It is articulated. We'll get to that later. So that's about it, except for the face, which is an interchangeable faceplate. And I'm sad to say, I don't think it looks very good. It looks passable, but the way the hair connects to the head, it looks terrible. There's nothing to do about that. They just made it this poorly. There's nothing you can do. You put it on. Also, her ear seems to be in the wrong spot on her head. It's not really head-shaped, and her hair just comes out of weird bald patches around the mask. And this mask isn't the worst. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but there is a gap all the way around. I think you can probably see it. There's a gap just about all the way around. It's not as bad on this side, but yeah, it just looks really, really bad. So she is very cheap looking, and as we'll get to in the articulation section, she can't really stand up because her hair is super heavy, even though they have it clung right to her back, which is reasonable. She can't stand unless you spread her legs. Whoa, wait a minute. Pose her in some way and then lean on her hair. That's really the only option. So she doesn't look great. She does not look great. It looks to me like her head sits too high, probably too. So yeah, she gets like a 3 out of 10 for the aesthetic. There's nothing really good going on there. Now this guy does use one of the nicer bodies for the top half, and he has this cool piece added on here, which is actually surprisingly well done. It's I mean, it's nothing crazy, it's nothing fancy, it's just a cloth sculpt with some texture applied to it, so that's fine, but it looks nice. It gives the figure a certain aesthetic, and I think the face is actually a pretty good one. It has a good balance of that comic/realism thing that they keep pushing too far in the realism. I think the hair looks nice, though there's no paint on it. Yeah, it's definitely a good enough looking figure. It does look a little bit dated, though, especially paired with her, where she has the like hyper-realistic face, and he's got a fairly comic-y face. So I don't think these figures were initially meant to go together. Or Hasbro just doesn't bother trying. The hair on the arms, not bad. I think if you're going to do hair, that's the way to do it. I don't like the sculpted hair that we've seen, and this is a good comic-y style hair that I think gets the point across without looking too silly. No paint on the pants, so it looks a little cheap. Same thing for the... What's going on with his feet? I know different versions of Gorgon where he actually has hooves and where he actually wears boots. This is like some combination of the two, and it's not Hasbro's fault. I know this is accurate to the source material, but is he just wearing boots with weird things on the bottoms that aren't actually hooves? Or hooves, however you pronounce it? Or what's his deal? Does anybody know? Does he actually have hooves or not? Or is it both, depending on where you're looking? I don't know, but he looks pretty good. Overall, I'll give him for Marvel Legends an 8 out of 10. He looks pretty nice. As a 2-pack, I'll knock it down to a 6 because she's kind of a turd ball. Now, as far as accessories go, Medusa does have the interchangeable faceplate. It does not solve the hair issues. I do think the face is maybe a little bit better, but she has kind of a butterface situation going on. And then we have some of the hands that we've seen a million times. That's it for her. Not much in the way of accessories. Now for Gorgon, also not much. We have some alternate hands, which are fine, and we get his stick, which is pretty well done, I guess. I don't know what his stick's supposed to look like. I'll have to check, but I imagine this is pretty close, and it's transparent, so that's pretty cool. I guess translucent's the right word there. So decent enough accessories, but not much, and that's obvious because they gave us a giant figure in a 2-pack that doesn't cost more, so they skimped on accessories. But still, they skimped, so 5 out of 10. Now, let's do the articulation. We'll start with Medusa. I want to save her hair for last, if I can manage. No, we'll just get it out of the way. What the heck? They were very pleased with themselves to announce that they were articulating the hair, which is a fine idea. But executed poorly. Oh, there's some paint on this part too where you can't see it, just in case you were wondering. So the idea that they had, which is a good idea, I think, is to articulate the hair, and they put it at a swivel where it makes sense. It kind of looks like it could flow that way because of this curve here. And if you want to rotate it this way, it makes no sense at all because, I mean, from the back it looks okay because of the layering, but from the front it looks pretty goofy. So it's like, I think they didn't try that hard. I think they had a sculpt and then said, what if we articulate it, and then they just cut it up. Because the other thing they didn't do was sculpt the articulation. If this part right here was actually sculpted to have hair strands being curved all the way in, it would look infinitely better. It's just like the elbows and knees thing that I posted on my shorts the other day. Having this big faceted thing looks like garbage, and it takes almost no effort for them to just, before they make the figure in the sculpt phase, sculpt the hair all the way around, so that when you turn it, it actually just looks like sculpted hair still. It makes no sense to have these giant faceted things. It's just so lazy. It shows their contempt for quality, honestly. So the head's on a double ball peg, but it doesn't work. Like, the head doesn't move at all. And it is too loose, by the way, to hold the hair up, so there is that. Despite the little bit of motion there is, and the head being able to move on top, well, I guess I can just show you. It doesn't work well. The hair is just too heavy. It's not even close. There's no contest for that neck joint at all. And then for the arms, we get our butterfly joint, which serves its purpose. It's fine. It's not a terrible base body. And then for the shoulders, they get up to horizontal, full rotation, of course. Double jointed elbow. It's gonna elbow, no problems. The thick ass wrist covers that make her arms look like tubes, they're there. They're floaty though, so they can move. Diaphragm joint on this figure. It does lean back nicely. Leans forwards almost zero. Sideways, okay. It does rotate. And then we get our ab crunch, which is going to serve no purpose on this figure at all. With the hair, why did they bother putting in ab crunch? Like, use a different body. Especially, like, it's a crap ab crunch in the first place. It screws up the look, and it's never going to be used on this figure. It's just a weird choice. Alright, and then for the legs, they go out to the side, just past 45. Not too much, though. That's kind of unfortunate. Could have better range there. Bring the legs forward, it's fine. Going back, you get nothing. Thigh swivel is super loose. Double jointed knees work nicely. The cuffs on the boots get in the way, but it's fine. it's not a problem. And then you do not get a boot swivel. Ankles go all the way back and all the way forward, and you get a decent ankle rocker. So it's a standard body, but rendered useless with this goofy hair, which is obviously going to be the case unless they do something impressive, which they don't really do. But the head does sit too high, and it doesn't pose well because of the hair. So her articulation is going to get a... If it wasn't for the heavy hair and everything, it'd be like a 7 or 8, I guess. But because the hair renders most of the figure useless and their hair articulation is terrible, I'm going to go 4 out of 10. All right, for Gorgon, you can use his neck on the old style joint. He does look up, not really down so much. Barely any rotation because of the collar and stuff in his beard, but what are you going to do? This piece, it moves, but it's hard. Hard plastic. Why they don't use soft stuff, I don't know. It wouldn't matter unless it was glued on, but they could have easily used soft plastic and glued it. Instead, they used hard, and it just gets in the way. But you can pose him still a little bit with its ability to shift around, but it's not great for the shoulders. Bicep swivel is fine. Single jointed elbow, standard. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge. And the ab crunch works all right. Goes forward. That's pretty good. You do get your rotate. Oh, did you see that? I turned this and it's stressed. You get white marks. They went away. Will they keep going away? I don't know. Ooh, it's doing it over here too. So it doesn't fit on the body. It doesn't fit on the figure. That's nice. Hips go out to the side. That's pretty far. I'll take that. That's almost splits. Bring the legs forward. That's it. You get very, very limited range going forward. That sucks. Going back is almost nothing. Also, thigh swivel is going to thigh swivel. Double jointed knee does work, though of course you have these digitigrade legs, which make it weird. And there's no joint in here. You get your rotation, which is going to be useless. That's like a silly, silly joint. Especially on these legs, it's super silly. No joint in here, which is weird, because that's kind of an important joint. It's really strange that they didn't make this articulated and then gave him a toe joint, which is too loose. It does rotate, so that'll be useful, I guess, for posing. This is weird. This shouldn't be here. You don't need this at all, and this should have a joint here. But you do get decent range out of the toe slash hoof, whatever. He gets a 7 out of 10 for articulation. All right, time for rating this 2-pack. What a weird 2-pack of figures. Like, not because of the character choices, because that makes sense. But Hasbro didn't... They put effort into these things to make them what they are, but not enough to make them good. I was expecting this 2-pack to be impressive, but I don't know why. Especially since they're giving us a Build-A-Figure at a regular 2-pack price, which is already insane, but whatever. But yeah, neither of these are very impressive. He is in size, I mean, so that's a good thing, and he looks good enough, so I guess he's a winner. She's not really worth owning, if you ask me. If you already have the older, crappier Medusa, this one's really not better. Like, maybe on paper it is, but in practicality, pragmatically, it's not. So I'm going to give this 2-pack an overall rating of 6 out of 10. She's garbage, and he's not great, but he's good enough. So I don't know, maybe I'm being harsh, but I'm getting sick of Hasbro just releasing crappy figures, even when they put effort into things. It's the wrong effort in the wrong ways. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but I'll be done there. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.